Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome to an episode of The Breakdown. This is a very special episode because we've witnessed King of the Table 2 in December of 2021. One of the most important and special matches that the arm wrestling world could host. And of course, we're talking about Devon Larratt, John Brzenk. Two of the most significant names you'll ever hear in arm wrestling. John Brzenk, the absolute greatest arm wrestler of all time in terms of what he's achieved throughout the sport. There is no parallel to him. Devon Larratt, in many eyes, second to John in respect to the greatest athlete of all time. Certainly the most significant athlete in terms of impact in recent times. This man has done more for the sport than any others. Anyway, these two guys collided at King of the Table 2 in Dubai on December 11. And there was a lot of tension. There was a lot of meaning into this. They last faced in 2015 where John won 2-1. Prior to that, Devon Larratt was the first man in history to go on the record defeating John Brzenk in a super match, doing so 6-0 in the Arm Wars Super Series. Anyway, this match was somewhat of a coming back from retirement match for John. He'd had some super matches against some middleweight opponents and with success. But then he stepped right up to Devon Larratt, who is considered top 3 in the world. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. This one, it's pretty interesting, and we'll have a look at it now in the breakdown. All right, you can see Devon Larratt on the left of the screen here, John Brzenk on the right. There was a lot of to and fro prior to this. They were really looking for the grip that they wanted. Both of these athletes know very much what they need, and unless they feel it, they won't get it. A lot of tension before the start, but there it is, the drive sideways from John Brzenk in the open arm top roll, King's move defense from Devon Larratt. Now, Devon Larratt has the brakes on and has control here. John Brzenk's wrist is back. You can see the wrist flexion, most importantly, has been flattened by Devon Larratt. That is what is preventing John from getting the pin. As the wrist goes back further, Devon Larratt rises and climbs and starts to add a little bit of static pronation through. John Brzenk considers dropping into a defensive hook, but Devon Larratt in control and John Brzenk conceding that one. Devon Larratt, there was lots of talk in this build-up to that match, like I said. And John Brzenk not happy with the way the webbings were set up. Round 2, here we go. John Brzenk on the left screen. You can see he's looking for depth. He wants to get past Devon Larratt. Doing so will allow him to control the pronation of Devon Larratt. With Devon Larratt not allowing that, he's being high, he's raising he's dropping his hand and pulling back on his wrist to maintain that height and prevent John from getting over his pronation. John Brzenk needing that wrist flexion. Devon Larratt doing everything he can to keep the greatest arm wrestler of all time's hand flat. Here we go, round 2. And there you go. You see straight away celebration from Devon Larratt as he recognizes that he has the hand and wrist of John flat. John attempts some side pressure without the hand and wrist coming with him. Devon Larratt smiling, not in any rush at all. Lots of talk to John. You can see Devon's got everything he needs here. John's hand, every time John attempts to go sideways, his hand buckles a bit. He considers coming forward into the hook there, but once again, Devon Larratt in control and John Brzenk conceding, looking to conserve energy and waiting for any opportunity. Round 3, Devon really looking to mean business here, puts an aggressive hit on. You can see he had the height in that setup and he doesn't hesitate to pull the trigger. 3-0, John Brzenk getting steamrolled in that one. And round 4, once again the start, but Devon allowing John this time to get some work in. John Brzenk with the high knuckles position, unable to get over the top into a top roll, adds some side pressure, a bit of work there into Devon as Devon's wrist does flatten out a little bit, but he's still maintaining the height. Devon has access to pronation if he wants it, where John Brzenk's pronation is completely neutralized. John also unable to get any wrist flexion in, which is leaving him only with raw side pressure with no hand control. Devon Larratt with the hand control starts to add the shoulder. There's the cup. John attempts to come into hook. He's trying to pull through, but the shoulder and center defense, the static threat from Devon Larratt, too much, and John Brzenk concedes. One more time, and there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Devon Larratt is your winner. And like I said, this was such a significant match. You can see the respect there. After the match is done, respect from both of these guys goes on. But this really was a really intense match. I want to go back to that first round. If we have a look at it again, the very first round, there was so much tension, as you can see this first round unfold right now. Devon Larratt maintained height. That was the real key. He had higher webbing, and you see just before the start, the elbow creeps forward, tension, and then the go. It was a very sloppy start, but you can see as that side pressure came through from John in that first round. But most importantly, John's hand was still being flattened. If John had have achieved wrist flexion, he would have had a pin there. But Devon was able to drag, pronate, and prevent that. And all of the regrips and climbs that Devon does during that static retreating of John is what really suffocates John the most. As he retreats, Devon takes it all away from him and passively, with passive pressures, defeats John. So that was really what was going on there. The most critical thing was flattening of John's hand from Devon. He did that by maintaining great static back pressure and constant pronation threat through the top, as well as limiting John's ability to top roll Devon in any way, shape or form. He used the height of his arm, the size of his hand, combined with that amazing static rising pressure and pronated pressure as well. There, like I said, a lot of tension. If you do want to see it in its fullness with all of that tension, go and check it out on Larry Wheels' channel where you see the full match, because it's really quite epic. But either way, this really was a match for the ages. Devon Larratt, John Brzenk. We kind of, so much of us, myself included, we wanted John to be able to pull off that fairy tale victory. Coming out of retirement and taking on Devon Larratt would have been something special if he had been able to do it. But Devon Larratt, we all knew Devon Larratt was the man on that day, and he proved it. And onwards from here, he will go on to face Levan Saginashvili in June of 2022 for truly the #1 rank in the world. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought about this match, and where did you see it? Were you happy with the way it went? Did you feel like someone was ripped off? Did you feel like someone got too much? Was it fair? Do we just move on? What does it mean? For me, it doesn't change anything. John's still the GOAT. Devon's still epic and potentially #1 in the world. And either way, arm wrestling wins for a match like this. All right, guys, please hit the like button for me, hit the subscribe button and the share button, all that sort of good stuff. And we'll see you next time.
Yes, that's a man!